And we are live. Welcome everyone to the broadcast. El Paso Locomotive taking on Colorado Springs Switchback. You're watching Seriously Locos live watch along. For now, it's just me, Phil Bakke, your host, as they say. Bringing you commentary, live commentary, live watch along, or whatever of El Paso Locomotive as they take on Colorado Springs. I guess getting a few things out of the way. Hopefully levels are good. Hopefully we're good. Just checking a couple of settings here where it looks like we're good. So hopefully as people are joining in, I know late notice, all that stuff. It is me solo for now. Christian is likely going to be joining me here in a second. But I'll get things started as the stream is up from Southern Colorado Springs now, Widener Field, and it is going to be Locomotive kicking things off here in a little bit, but we're still on the ads. There's fish flopping around, whatever. We're going to get straight into things. So ahead of Colorado Springs versus Locomotive, let's go ahead and get things started talking about the lineups. Locomotive fans, you won't be shocked by what's going on Locomotive's lineup. It is pretty much what we've come to expect from Brian Claerhout and his team. We've got that classic 4-4-2 shape that he loves running. We've got Benny Diaz in goal, Miles Lyons at right back. As we know, Mark Navarro injured during the early stages of last week's game, and he is out and not involved at all in this one. Miles Lyons in for him. Yuma and Bense Pavkovitz across, in that central defensive pairing, and Eder Borelli out on the left of the defense. Ahead of them, we've got Eric Calvillo and Liam Rose back in central midfield, exactly where you'd expect. And Denis Kostishin and Petar Petrovic either side of them. Up top, Lucho Solniak, Ricardo Zacharias, back where they belong up top. Ricardo Zacharias, obviously a goal scorer last time out. On the bench for Locomotive, it is Javi Garcia, Eric McHugh, Chaparera, Nick Hines, Lalito Moreno makes the bench. So a little bit of news there in terms of the youngster, the number 8, fit enough to make the bench and in form enough to make the bench, which feels a little bit significant. Emmanuel Sinupe and Josue Aron Gomez round out the bench for Locomotive. Taking a look at how Switchbacks are lining up. So Switchbacks, Herrera's in goal, Musa, Duke Lacroix, Jimmy Ockford, and Patrick Segrist make up that back line. They're playing a 4-3-3, so a similar shape to how Locomotive maybe have run in the past. Drew Skundrich, Devin Williams, Steven Echeverria across that midfield, and then Deshane Beckford, Malik Foster, and Jairo Enriquez making up that attacking trio. And we are underway from Widener Field in Colorado Springs. Locomotive wearing the all whites, Colorado Springs Switchbacks in the black on black. So a very contrasting matchup here aesthetically. As everybody's joining, welcome to the broadcast. We are just getting underway here, about 30 seconds in on my stream, and hopefully everyone's had a good week. We're getting some early catharsis here with a Friday night kickoff for Locomotive. And Eric, good evening to you as well. Love the Unai shout. And we are not pre-match anymore. We are in it. 0-0 a minute in. Talked a little bit about the lineups as things are going on and people are joining. Feel free to jump in the chat. share your thoughts on how things are going. A little bit of a giveaway there from Locomotive, but Eder Borelli with a classic slide tackle that you've come to expect from him. A little bit of hold up play here from Lucho Soloniak. Eventually finds its way back to Yuma. I will say the glare is making it tough to exactly see what Locomotive are up to in the all whites. The glare on that far side of the field, but it is not New Mexico level glare. And worth mentioning that New Mexico down 1-0 against RGV already. So, we've got that going for us. Locomotive back in possession. Little bit of a scare there, but Eder Borelli cleaning up really nice with a signature slide tackle. And now Locomotive able to calm things down and have a little bit of the ball. I think, as with any game, we are in that spot where we kind of start to see how Claerhout says Kostishin kind of gives this one away, but does really well to win it back. And eventually plays it all the way back to Benny Diaz in goal. I think it's interesting because we know the shape, we know the personnel involved, but we know that this team tweaks like week in and week out. They have these slight changes, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they actually line up. Colorado Springs like to play on the break, so I think Locomotive probably will have a decent share of the ball as Eder Borelli with a bit of a miss kick there. And a chance to counter here for Colorado Springs, but luckily played in too long, and Benny Diaz quickly restarts. I think they're going to let us have a little bit more of the ball. Miles Lyons trying to maybe do a little bit too much there on the link-up play, and now a ball out wide, looking for Segrist down that left-hand side, I believe, but luckily too long for him. So it'll be interesting. Locomotive are going to have a decent share of the ball. They'll probably have a lot of it. They are looking a little sloppy, I'm going to say. Just early doors, still very early, but just need to sharpen up a little bit. Like, I'm liking some of the patterns. Just got to make sure that they're taking care of the ball. As nice little interchange here, and Zacharias receiving the ball in a deep area until Miles Lyons is fouled. Yeah, Segrist, the offender there. Hopefully everyone had a good week. I will just go ahead and say that this week was an absolute nightmare from start to finish. I am glad that it is just about over. And I'm happy to have some Locomotive football to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Except, let's be real, none of us are relaxing at any point during this. And it's going to be just a nerves fest until Locomotive get a goal on the board at least, and probably well beyond that. To cope with that, I have a little bit of a beverage here, so hopefully everyone is settling in with their beverage of choice, and we'll enjoy a good 90 minutes. Long ball in behind. I mean, this is exactly what you'd expect to see from Colorado Springs. It's Segrist down the left here, tracked by Lyons, tries to get to the byline, and Miles cuts it out, but just behind for a throw. Eric, we're on the same page. We've got a big game against Brentford in the morning. The morning still for Mountain Time. So hoping that Liverpool can get the job done along with Locomotive. Both teams made us sweat a little bit last weekend, so maybe we can I'd appreciate a little bit more comfort as the corner's headed away, and it looks like Kostishin trying to latch onto this, and nice little spin move. Eric, those early kickoffs are just absolutely brutal. Liverpool do not cope well with those, as most of us don't. So, Locomotive in a little bit of possession there. That was really well done from Dennis Kostishin, who's just come into his own these last few weeks. I have to say, like, the question marks were there. I'm not going to lie. As a long ball forward, Lucho's unable to kind of gather that, and the eventual clearance kind of bounces off Lucho out for a throw. Ockford's going to restart things for Colorado Springs. But yeah, just thinking through, like, Kostishin's numbers in Ukraine were not eye-popping, like, from a production standpoint. I think it's safe to say is Colorado Springs starting an attack here, so maybe I'll hold on this. Cross comes in. Miles lets it bounce over his head, but luckily Segrist wasn't ready for it. The fullbacks for Colorado Springs playing very, very high up the field. As Kostishin puts in a challenge here, Yuma able to head the ball away as a cross came in. Colorado Springs keeping up the pressure though, and I think just a little bit of concern here. Ball slid through down the channel, down that right-hand side, put back out to the right-hand side. Ockford puts a cross in, but it's straight into the arms of Diaz, who will restart with a quick kick, and they zoom in on Diaz's face, so I can't see the result of it, and I cannot tell you. Lucho is somehow controlling this, and finds Kostishin. I can't tell you how frustrating it is when they go close on a player while the ball's still in play. Petrovic with a chance here, saved and headed away. Really good chance early for Petrovic, and then Kostishin has a shot. The cameraman is all over the place. It is going in and out of focus. The production is randomly cutting in close to players. It is chaos here. Petrovic with a good early chance. It was kind of straight at Herrera in goal for Colorado Springs, but good start for Locomotive, and they fashioned the first true chance of the game. First shot on target, first save from Herrera. So good signs here in the 8th minute. Played just about 7.5. Long ball in behind Eder Borelli, looking for, it was I don't know who that was. Well, I guess it was Enriquez down that right-hand side, interestingly, but oh, it was Beckford. Sorry, the glare is just playing absolute havoc. I should have trusted my gut, as Petrovic trying to link up here with Calvillo. Eder, little hint of a pullback from Eder there, but I think Beckford gives up a little too easily. There's probably a scenario in which he gets a foul call there. Pavkovic's unable to keep that crossfield ball from Yuma in. Good idea from Yuma, but not good enough, unfortunately. Long crossfield ball, and that ball is there. Ockford's trying to keep it in, or Beckford's trying to keep it in, I should say. And it does go behind or out for a Locomotive throw. But yeah, those long crossfield balls are doing something for Colorado Springs. They haven't been able to make much of it yet, thankfully, but there is space out there, and they are playing those big switches, and they're going to continue to look for those. I mean, anyone who watched back the goals that they scored against Charleston, which, I mean, credit to them, good result on the road against a somewhat depleted Charleston side. The bad giveaway in midfield for Colorado Springs, and Petrovic is off to the races here. He's got options in the middle. He's got Lucho. He's got Ricky. He cuts to the byline. It's squares for Lucho. It's an easy tap in. What a goal for El Paso Locomotive. Petar Petrovic, the creator. Lucho Solignac, the scorer. You could not write up a goal better than that. Petrovic getting to the byline, squaring an easy tap in for Lucho Solignac, who absolutely roofs it for no reason. This initial play out of midfield by Eric Calvillo was absolutely lovely to slide that ball into Petrovic. He does Ockford, just leaves him completely square, flat-footed, and easy pass for Lucho Solignac, who is standing straight in front of goal. Herrera absolutely losing it with his defenders, but I mean, there's really nothing Lucho could do but score there. What a fantastic start for El Paso Locomotive. They lead 1-0 in Colorado Springs. Wow. What a start. What an assist from Petar Petrovic. You love to see it. They are straight down the other end, and Benny's a little bit out of his goal here. Oh, Colorado Springs almost with a big chance to equalize right off the bat. Yeah, the Petrovic-Lucho combo is looking good. Yeah, that was a lovely goal. This was a big chance. Foster his touch takes him a little bit wide, but the cross was good. And honestly, they probably should have made it was Drew Skundrich standing basically inside the 6-yard box, and he probably should have done better. Maybe that's not fair. He probably wasn't he probably wasn't inside the 6-yard box, but he was, nearer than the penalty spot. So yeah, that could prove to be a big miss. That was an immediate chance for Colorado Springs to get back into things, and a warning sign for Locomotive just to be careful of those things to come. Certainly, yeah, I think this is this is probably something as a swarm of locusts hits the camera. Yeah, I think there's probably a little bit of miscommunication there in Yuma and Eder, um, both deciding to guard like go to the goal line rather than actually mark the man who was the target of the cross. But that being said, job done, I guess, as Miles Lyons now looking for that big switch. And this game is incredibly open, which is really interesting. Locomotive do look to settle it down a bit. Liam Rose getting some touches in midfield. Man, that goal, that's a lovely, lovely goal. Easy on the eyes. And easy in its construction. Like Pitar doesn't have to do. Oh, what a ball from Dennis Kostishin. Lucho can't quite bring it down, but Ricky can. Can he slide it across to Petrovic? It's 2-0. It's 2-0 just like that. Pitar Petrovic with a goal and an assist. That was wonderful. These guys are playing football, y'all. Like, this is wow. What a start. This ball from Dennis Kostishin is absolutely great into the feet of Lucho Solignac, who lays it off. Ricky couldn't quite get it under control, but he does enough to slide it out to Pitar, who has a very, very easy. He just hits him with that finesse shot, that FIFA finesse shot, as we love to see. That, he's holding R1 and circle, or RB and, man, I don't play Xbox. What is that? Y? X? Is that X? I don't know. Whatever it is, he hit him with the finesse. It is 2-0 El Paso Locomotive. You absolutely love to see it. Pitar Petrovic with a goal and an assist inside the first 15 minutes on the opener. Absolutely does Jimmy Ockford out there on the right-hand side of Colorado Springs defense. Squares for Lucho to tap in. Lovely. And then Pitar scoring on the end of a good team move, not of the quality of what we saw, as this is actually a little concerning for Locomotive, but Bense Pavkovits with a good challenge there to keep it from being a bigger issue. And then eventually Miles Lyons long ball is blocked out for a Locomotive throw. But yeah, what a start in Colorado Springs. Exactly what you would want to see. And now just a little bit of a, I mean, they've created chances. You almost want to see them keep their foot on the gas. You certainly don't want to, and whatever. If I burp into the microphone, that's for y'all. But yeah, wow, it's a good call, Eric. They had the warning shot, Colorado Springs. Like they had the shot saved the first time. Second time of asking, Pitar placed it a little bit better. Had a little bit more time out there to pick his spot. And yeah, this is great stuff on the road from El Paso Locomotive once again. We'll have to be careful on this big old pitch that we're playing on, as Eder Borelli down with a bit of a head injury here. Maybe the ball, I mean, it didn't look like it caught him strongly, but just caught him unawares a little bit there. Yeah, it does just catch him from close. I mean, it's one of those from Ed Air. You kind of you allow him some amount of shithousery as Benny Diaz able to catch that ball over the top. Yeah, this is lovely viewing on a Friday night. 2-0 to El Paso Locomotive inside. We've played about 16 and a half minutes by the clock as I've got it, as Miles Lyons able to keep that one in for Dennis Kostishin. Bense Pavkovitz back to Kostishin, who was caught on the ball, but Locomotive able to play out, and some nice one-touch passing does find Miles Lyons, but he's dispossessed. And then the ball was behind to Malik Foster. It looks like Yuma headed back to Benny Diaz, who was in his area. Just barely, though. I think Benny was trying to call Yuma off there, I thought, but that's a tight one. I'm not going to pretend that it's not. We might have gotten a little bit of a break there, but hey, on the line is in, right? So we'll just say that. Miles Lyons trying to get to the byline himself, crosses, but it's ahead of Zacharias. And I think there were better options on for Miles, but that's okay. Yes. Hauled that thing in like Odell Beckham Jr., in the Giants days when he, like played. Ball out for Oxford and breaks down for Colorado Springs. Locomotive have to try to seize on this a little bit. They are playing well. They've got the goals, Colorado Springs know better than most. I mean, they took a 3-0 lead here, and at one point trailed 4-3. Was that last season? Because that game that I'm describing that ended 4-4, that was BS. Like, that feels like a million years ago. I'm pretty sure it was last year, but it feels like it was at least, the current time, at least 1986. It did. It really did. Where is the lie? But yeah, we're cooking. But Colorado Springs trying to cook something up themselves. A little bit of a connection of different tackles there from Locomotive players, but they're able to get it out, and Kostishin away with the ball down the right. He's supported by Zacharias, cuts in field, plays another ball through for Lucho Solignac. Solignac one-on-one with Herrera, but couldn't sort his feet out in time to get the shot off. And oh man, what a chance for 3-0 there, as that ball's played behind and will dribble all the way out for a goal kick. That was a big chance. And I mean, for Lucho, you'd expect him to at least fashion a shot from that. Kostishin finding him down the channels. This run from Lucho is also timed absolutely to perfection. Unbelievable timing on that. And you just hope that Lucho tried something a little fancy there. He tries to actually go with the outside of his boot. Just tried to be a little too tricky. But wow. Locomotive finding joy against this Colorado Springs back line, and yeah, wonderful stuff so far. Still plenty of time left. We've crossed the 20-minute mark on my stream, so hopefully everyone watching is enjoying. Hopefully you're enjoying not just the play, but if you are joining us, I see a lot of familiar names in the chat. So if you're new, if you're joining us for the first time, go ahead, jump in. We do love to chat with everyone. Hope everyone is having a good Friday night, and I know most are off to a good start with what is going on down in Colorado Springs. But Switchbacks in possession. Speaking of, and looks like Skundrich, who was trying to run forward, and eventually a foul given against Liam Rose. Yeah, I don't know about that. Man, when that ad came down, did anyone else think they were booking Liam? Because that would have been crazy. That would have been really crazy. When that ad came down, I was like, oh my God, they're giving him a yellow. The ad, if anyone is not actively watching the game, the ad is yellow. As Benny catches that deflected shot easily. It was from Deshane Beckford, who is going to remain a danger. Like there is a danger there. We know Deshane Beckford, and it was a bit of a he caught that one. Luckily, Ed Ayers was able to take a lot of the sting off of it, and then Petar Petrovic fouled there by Ockford. Ockford's having a hell of a time. I mean, it'll be he's going to be kicking Petar all night rather than get done like he did on the first goal. He got absolutely, he got, I don't know if anyone, whatever. He was absolutely flat-footed, just completely unable to deal with Petar's running, as that ball eventually finds Yuma, and Yuma sprays a nice pass out for Petar out on the left. Petar v. Ockford crosses it in. Oh, he was looking for Lucho and Ricky, but neither could get there. It was a little too tall for Lucho and a little too long for Ricky. So unfortunately goes behind for a goal kick, and Herrera will start. Yeah. Man's got absolutely his knees locked up like he was a baby giraffe or something. Just frozen. Han Solo'd. He was in carbonite. It's a little May the 4th humor. I know it's Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I don't know. That's not really. I know there's not really any history to that holiday, but it did give me an excuse to have a nice tequila cocktail before I started the broadcast. So, I mean, aside from that, Locomotive playing out of danger. Benny finding Liam Rose. Liam looking for Ricky. Yeah, Zacharias does really well to get away from the trouble there and finds Lucho. Lucho charging into space. He's got Petrovic off to the left. He actually opts to cut it back for Borelli, and Locomotive slow it down a little bit. Probably fair enough given what's gone on. Bense gets into a little bit more of a forward area. He's found Miles Lyons trying to face up Segrist. Costician. He's gone a little more central, takes a shot from way out and forces a save from Herrera. That was knuckling, and Herrera had all kinds of trouble dealing with that. He took that shot from about 35, 40 yards, and Herrera has to palm it over for a corner kick. That was dipping and that was going in. That would have been unbelievable from Costician. And yeah, as Eric's saying, it looked like he barely put anything behind it. I thought it would be an easy catch, and Herrera had a hell of a time. That thing was knuckling in the air like crazy, swerving, dipping. And it is a corner kick for El Paso Locomotive. 2-0, 25th minute. Petrovic to take, goes in towards the center. Herrera does spill it, but punches it out to Miles Lyons. Lyons tries to flick it in, and Colorado Springs able to get away, but a miscue here. Petrovic back into the area. What can he do here? Peter Petrovic, he forces another save from Herrera. Herrera is absolutely losing his mind with his defense. I don't blame him. Just going to say that. It hasn't been good. And another corner kick for Locomotive here, 26th minute, 2-0 up. For those joining, it has been as good as it seems. 2-0 up inside 25 minutes. And Colorado Springs defending another corner here. Eder Borelli on the deck after a little push from Herrera, but very little, I would say. Herrera has to punch that away. Petrovic, one of these days, I swear to God, he's going to score in Olympico. I just know it. I feel it in my bones. This hit comes back in. It's well wide in the end. It looked like Miles Lyons who kind of took that one, and it was a little bit erratic in the end. But yeah, Petrovic forcing the save, and Eder, the man is a shithouse, but he is he was just hip checking Herrera, giving him all kinds of trouble. And yeah, Locomotive going for that Burnley Olympico. Was it Burnley? I want to say it was Burnley against Liverpool. Do y'all remember that? Where they just like tackled Allison and the ball went in the net? Yeah, it was a fun one. Really enjoyed that. But I would love it for Locomotive. I love that look for any team that I support and no teams that I don't support. So cross comes in here for Colorado Springs, too long. And I gotta say, so far so good. From Locomotive, they've kept Colorado Springs at arm's length, but the danger is there. They've got the weapons we saw the last time out, and yeah, Eric, fair enough. No one's going to take a look at the goals, and if they award it in real time, then it counts. So, yeah, no, crowd the goalie, make him call a foul. Locomotive back in possession. A couple of throws down that far side, and Petrovic just absolutely feasting. He's got this like, it's not quite a faux hawk, not quite a mohawk, but he's got kind of the mix between. And Petrovic just absolutely terrorizing Jimmy Ockford, just eating this man's lunch, or maybe his supper. I don't know. It is in the evening now, out in Mountain Time, so maybe he's just eating his dinner. But Petrovic just enjoying himself out on that left wing for El Paso Locomotive so far. Goal and an assist for those joining now. The man is eating. Bense going on a little adventure. Oh, and a bad giveaway by Lucho Solonyak. Luckily, Pavkovic's able to recover, and he does play it off of Malik Foster and out for a goal kick. Not great from Lucho, we'll say. He's got a goal. He has been good. Little too casual with the ball there in midfield, and does have to be careful of it. I don't know. Maybe they gave a foul. Maybe they gave offsides. Tough to say. For some reason, it wasn't a goal kick. That's for sure. So maybe an offside instead. Liam Rose. Colorado Springs keeping the pressure up, but Locomotive able to find some success playing through it. And Liam Rose turning his man there. Plays it out wide. Ricardo Zacharias dropping into a left-sided attacking role, and kind of on that inside channel. Like I said, the beginning of this game, the first half hour, is all about watching players positioning and finding out like what the hell Brian Clairhout has him doing, because he has this 4-4-2. You can call it a 4-4-2. You can call it whatever. What a ball. Kostishin, Zacharias in space. Zacharias to make it 3. Oh, and he gets dispossessed by the keeper. Oh, Ricky, you've got to do better. You got to do better with that. It should be 3-0. Oh, Kostishin's vision is just, the man's third eye is open. Yeah, he thought he could go past the keeper, which I don't blame him for trying to take it past the keeper, but at the same time, like, you're one-on-one. Just put your laces through it, son. Man. That's tough. Should be 3-0. And basically Locomotive should be home dry. But Colorado Springs attacking the other way now. It is going to deflect back to Benny Diaz and be all good. But yeah, that was, man, Kostishin has been absolutely running shit out there, and Zacharias was in acres of space. Herrera's big frame, he just did not deal with it. I don't blame this, although Kostishin's already had probably 3 passes of the week in this game alone. He's had 3 probably unbelievable, I would say, like, unbelievable passes. And Petrovic is down here with what looks like a head injury. Not really sure. Ockford's just pissed. Like, I don't really know what else. Okay, it's not a head injury, luckily. And I really hate this rule, like that if a guy goes down for a head injury, he has to go to the sideline. Like, hey, we've got to check you by the concussion protocol, and the team has to play down a man, like, even though, you were fouled. I don't know. Not for me. Like, if you're going to do stoppages for concussions, that's awesome. They should do that. And you shouldn't be forced to play down a player. Is a really good ball to find Lucho. Lucho finds Kostishin. Kostishin looked like he was fouled there, but that won't stop him because he's still got hold of the ball. He's being triple teamed here and eventually does lose possession. They're looking for Foster. Yuma able to deal with it to a point. Unfortunately, not the whole way. Beckford looking for space. And Yuma able to put the ball behind for a corner. Yeah, Ockford's been kicking the shit out of Petrovic ever since. I mean, he got embarrassed. And now he's fouled Petrovic probably 4 times in the last 15 minutes. So, yeah. Thinking the ref probably needs to do something about that. Corner here for Colorado Springs. We've played just over half an hour, 32 and a half minutes. Locomotive winning 2-0 as our RGV over New Mexico. So just an update there. They're delaying the taking of the corner for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but okay, now they are taking it. Enriquez floats this one in and headed over well high and wide in the end from Colorado Springs. So yeah, things so far so good. I think it was the coach's son who scored for RGV. Wouldn't you just know it? I don't know. Maybe y'all can help me out what this armband is on the ref, but Locomotive playing through Colorado Springs again. Great ball out wide for Lions. Lions looking for Lucho. He just ducked under the header, but Petrovic maybe with another chance from the edge of the area. Petrovic sizing up. It was Skundrich that time. It wasn't Ockford. I'm sure he would have. If it was Ockford, it was curtains. Yeah, Francois did score for RGV. Just to be clear, this is their 5th and 6th goals of the season. They have played 8 games. So, yeah, they are. Love that. Love that. That's great. Benny Diaz with the ball. Bense getting away with a little bit of a loose pass there, and then eventually it goes out for a throw. Yeah, Locomotive evaluating that first half hour is weird because they've been great. They deserve to be up 2-0, and it should probably be 3, if not maybe 4. Like, because the Lucho chance threw on goal as well. They've had two one-on-ones that they've missed. As Lions kind of flew into that tackle, and that wasn't great. I actually don't mind. I think he's been booked as well, which poor from Miles. He got a little bit caught out of position, and he flew into that one. Yeah. Can't complain. Can't have any complaints about that yellow. Credit to the ref. That is actually, like, no joke. That is probably that's one of the very few first yellows in a USL game that I actually agree with. So often, like, that first yellow, I'm just like, why? Like, what are we doing here? The resulting free kick goes back into the hands of Benny Diaz, although Yuma got caught in the process. Looks like Yuma's okay to continue. Just yeah, everything's all right. I hold my breath now when a Locomotive player is hurt, or potentially hurt, just because we have a really good team and we also have very little depth. Lucho and Petrovic combined well, but Zacharias and Lucho weren't on the same page. Foster's making a run in behind down that right-hand side. Foster looking to get to the byline against Yuma, and Yuma once again blocking the cross. He's been solid there tonight. He does concede a corner, but they haven't allowed hardly any crosses to actually manifest and reach the area. So Enriquez is going to stand over another corner kick. Most of Colorado's players kind of standing on the edge of the area and about to make runs, but headed away by Pavkovitz. Strike comes into the area, deflected away. This might be a big break for Locomotive as Petrovic is running away with it. He's got Lucho in field, and he's got Zacharias in support as well. Petrovic opted to try to take Lacroix on. Petrovic turns Lacroix inside out, takes the strike, and Herrera has to save. Corner again. Man, anyone left on Colorado's right-hand side who has to go one-on-one against Petrovic, good luck. Good luck. Duke Lacroix is absolutely fantastic defender. He gets turned inside out by Petrovic, and Herrera is absolutely sprawling to keep that one out. And it's another corner kick. They have not looked, Colorado Springs, I'll say, has not looked super comfortable from corners. The goal here has been crowding Herrera. They've got Lucho, Eder, and Eric Calvillo all standing right next to Herrera. Petrovic to take. Bense went for the flick on at the near post. Miles Lyons went for the strike eventually, and thought it was deflected, but no dice, and it is going to be a goal kick for Colorado Springs. But again, yeah, to anyone trying to defend Petar Petrovic tonight, I wish you the best. He is absolutely ruining people's lives down Locomotive's left. Oxford gave up and said, "Hey, Duke, I need you to step in." And Lacroix then also got turned inside out. Yeah, I like the shout, Eric. Like Dennis has a strike on him too. And it'd be nice to see him get a chance like that. Eric too, if we can, not you, Eric. Although I don't, you could be a very pure striker of the ball. I don't know. But Eric Calvillo, if we could get him free from one of those corners, that feels like an opportunity for sure. Enriquez whistled for the foul there, and Locomotive able to restart play. Lions playing it infield for Rose. Rose finding Zacharias. Zacharias looking for a pass out to Petrovic. He'll keep it in play. Calvillo now opting to play it back to Yuma. It's yeah, as we cross the 40-minute mark, really pleased with how this first half's gone. Kostitian was looking for another one of those passes. It's worked. Like, to his credit, he doesn't get the touch on it right that time, but to his credit, that reverse ball over the top has worked 3 times already. Like, in my defense, it worked 150 times. Big bonus points. I don't know what sort of points I'm handing out, but big bonus points to anyone who understands that reference. Colorado Springs back with the ball. Beckford playing it infield. Cross comes into the center. Skundrich heads just wide. Warning sign for Locomotive. It was one of those where it's like, Skundrich has come close on a couple of headers now. He actually should score. And I'm glad he's the late runner, like, as of right now. Echeverria, it was a really good cross. Miles Lyons unable to compete for the header. And yeah, Skundrich could have 2 on a different night. He had one good look from the penalty spot. with the header, and then that he should be putting in the back of the net. Let's be real. Lucho trying to chest it down. Foul given against him, I guess. Colorado Springs restarting play. And they're starting with a little bit of energy to end the half, and I think Locomotive just need to be a little bit careful here. Well done. Oh, but then a bad giveaway from Yuma. He tried to play a 1-2 with Calvillo. Crossfield ball finds Beckford out on the right-hand side. Cross comes to the back post. Header down, and luckily saved by Benny Diaz. It is getting dicey here, folks. What a save, Benny Diaz. And Kostitian unable to keep that dribble in of his. This was the chance. Beckford finding a lot of space on the right. It's actually a little bit, the header down was from Segrist. It's a little bit reminiscent to late Tulsa, if y'all will cast your minds back with me. Where Beckford, is this chance? Luckily, Foster rushed his shot. He probably had a chance to take another touch. Tries the volley, goes well wide. But this is getting a little dicey for Locomotive, and they need to get to halftime. They're playing themselves into trouble. Yuma, I'll be honest, has been a little bit, has had a couple of rough, like, he's not winning the ball when he's going in for it. And they just need to get to halftime at the moment. They had big chances to increase their lead, but I would say for now it's probably, the goal is don't concede. Lucho asking for a handball in midfield there. I think he had a point from Enriquez, but Lucho doing the right thing, eventually just going and winning the ball. Colorado Springs staying in possession, though. Skundrich looking for options. Opts to play it out to the right. Ockford. Now a crossfield ball back out to Beckford again. Beckford with a low cross and corner given in the end off Yuma. It was Skundrich again making a run towards that penalty spot. He is like that late runner out of midfield. It is giving late Tulsa because Marcus Epps was absolutely terrorizing us when Tulsa was on top, and Deshane Beckford is in all kinds of space out on that right hand side. Another corner kick for Colorado Springs, and Enriquez floats it in towards the spot. Yuma wins the initial header, floated back in, and then Yuma dummies it to Benny Diaz in goal. Yeah, that's a little strange. I'm not gonna lie, Sypha. That is, and it's a law firm's logo. Are we going with that? Frogs are always, I always associate with car washes. Is that an accurate thing? Is that a universal experience? Why do I associate frogs with car washes? Long ball out to Petar Petrovic, who's in a little bit of space. He's got Eder Borelli on the underlap, who he does find. Eder down in the corner and plays it off of a defender, but it looks like Colorado Springs, they're able to keep it in, but then played out for a throw. And we're into 2 minutes now of stoppage time as we cross the 45-minute mark. Classic Colorado Springs quirk in that the TikTok shop is a watch repair place and has nothing to do with the popular app. That chance for Locomotive kind of goes begging, and a minute and a half of stoppage time left to play. Colorado Springs get possession. They're playing through midfield. Echeverria plays a long switch. Segrist is chasing this one down. He will not get there in time. It'll go behind for a corner kick for Locomotive. And from my perspective, that is just what the doctor ordered, because we're looking a little stretched, looking a little thin. Let's go ahead and get into halftime, get energized, and see out the rest of this game. But 2-0 as it stands. Benny Diaz takes a long goal kick flicked on there. Zacharias was looking for it, and they're just about able to deal with it, but Kostishin, smart to the ball, wins it, cuts out that clearance. Kostishin looking for the ball to Petrovic. Petrovic, is he able to bring it down? He's not, but it only goes as far as Calvillo. Calvillo's got options. The strike from Lucho doesn't quite catch it, and it's into the arms of Herrera, and that'll bring us into the last 20 seconds of stoppage time here. Thanks to everyone for joining. Hope everyone is enjoying the game so far. We are off to a great start here in the first half. We're approaching halftime here in the next about 10 seconds, ideally, as that ball is won by Bense Pavkovits, Liam Rose, and I think that'll just about do it for action here in the first half as, yep, the whistle goes. Halftime, 2-0 to your El Paso Locomotive in Colorado Springs at the half. Wow. What a strange half in that it could and should have been more. And I'm just saying, like, Petar Petrovic played absolutely outside of his mind. He turns Jimmy Ockford inside out for Lucho's opener. And then the second comes from a great combination play. Kostishin to Lyons to Kostishin to Zacharias to Petrovic, and Petrovic adding a goal to his tally. So an assist and a goal for Petar Petrovic already in this one. He's been super influential. We should have seen a couple of more goals. Lucho got put through on goal, and Ricardo Zacharias both got put in from lovely passes by Dennis Kostishin, and we should actually be talking about probably a little bit bigger scoreline here. At the other end, a couple of chances for Colorado Springs as well. Headers from Drew Skundrich, of all people. He blazed high and wide from about 12 yards out, and then even closer in, about 6 yards out, he had a header that he absolutely should have put away. This is a great halftime question, Eric, and I'm glad you've asked it. I would say that the manner of the goals that Locomotive are currently scoring suggest that we're playing some of the best attacking football that we've seen. I think when you think of the goals, when you think of the really great goals of the past, of the, let's call it the 4 years prior to this year. When you think of the really great goals, they are moments of like individual brilliance. There's a couple of long range strikes in there. There's a couple of goals where you would say like, I'm thinking like Lucho's back heel. There's definitely some Diego Luna magic in there. There's a lot of goals that you would kind of chalk up to like, yeah, one guy just really like did his thing on this goal. Edson Partida on El Paso Strong. Oh yeah, no, Jake, you're on it. Edson Partida on El Paso Strong Night. Like, we're talking about like moments of individual brilliance. The goals that this edition of Locomotive are scoring right now under Brian Clairhout are moments of individual brilliance as part of a team move that, like, the goal last week that ended up winning goal of the week, when you're talking about 7 out of 11 Locomotive players touch the ball, 11 pass move from the goalkeeper to the scorer, having just conceded an equalizer. Like, that is unbelievable, both from a mentality standpoint, from a technical standpoint, from a cohesion standpoint. Like, that is a goal that I don't think we see a goal like that in other editions of Locomotive, if I'm being quite honest. They weren't really built for that, and they had to play, like, we had to go up against a lot of like half court settled defenses, all that stuff. This version of Locomotive is finding ways to unsettle other teams, and sprinkling in those moments of brilliance, as well as with the opener, Petar Petrovic, absolutely doing the defender and makes for an easy tap in, a goal that will, many will look back on and be like, yep, easy goal. But it is all about Petar. And then, that second goal, just each player able to contribute enough to find Petar the space to create that chance. Dennis Kostishin is absolutely, he's been, I hate to be too harsh on his teammates because it's not really fair, but he has been robbed of 2 assists that would be up there with his assist for Petrovic a couple of weeks ago. Jake, I gotta say, I love the shout. Brian is the American Deserby. He is getting the most out of this team. Like they are connecting, they're meshing, the system works. And the thing about the system is that it's constantly changing. Like let's talk about how Locomotive have played today. So they're playing a team that we know is going to let us have the ball, that is going to press high. So Locomotive are inviting the press. This actually does make it feel like Deserby in that Locomotive are inviting the press, and then they're immediately looking for those out balls where like they're playing the ball through midfield. Maybe they're playing the ball like out wide. And Petrovic, Lyons, Kostishin, like they're finding the ball in space, and they're able to create from those. They're able to really like, yeah, it really does feel a little bit like a Deserby approach. But one of the things that's been stunning about the way that they've done business is it's never the same. Like it's never the same way that they do it. We've seen them put in more counterattacking performances. We've seen them put in, I think last week is a good example. San Diego, not as many chances as San Diego, not as much of the ball as San Diego. And yet, like, created good chances, put the chances away. And now you're seeing on the road, but against a team that doesn't want to have the ball as much. They're playing a more possession style, but they're playing it quick through the press. And Kostishin is pushing higher up the field, and he's popping up in like more central areas, where in the past we've seen him play like deeper on the right. And actually Miles Lyons has like bombed on beyond him. So there's just so much like detail, attention to detail and nuance that Brian is able to apply to each of these performances so far that is really helping like this team, I guess, like get the most out of every game. And right now it is just halftime. We don't want to be talking about, a rough performance by the end of things. And there is still work to be done, to make sure that Locomotive see it out. I would love, I would say an early goal in the second half would be just what the doctor ordered, because 3-0 feels a lot more comfortable. But that being said, yeah, it's been great. And yeah, Herbie, I think this is a great shout. I mean, and I want to be super clear that like different managers have different approaches to this stuff, right? Like, there are some managers who, yes, like they have their system and they're gonna play it week in and week out. They're not gonna stray from it. They're gonna play the same shape. They're gonna play the same style. And that is like, it's not wrong in the sense that like when you have a good enough style, it can be like, it can work week in and week out. What I love about what Brian's doing is he really is paying a lot of attention to what opponents do, and he is able to exploit those things. Like, I think it's why we've been able to see this Locomotive team adapt to the game state more, adapt to the opponent more, play. They don't just, I think there was an arrogance in the past, like where it's USL. Oh my God. What? I will get back to the point, Herbie, but Eric, seriously? Oh, that's that sucks. Yeah, New Mexico, they just always draw. Like that is their lot in life. That's crazy. RGV scored 2 goals, which literally was what, a third of their whole tally for the year. And yeah, anyways. So Herbie, back to your point, I think there was an arrogance in the past from Locomotive managers who in some ways were right about the fact that, like, yeah, they do have strong squads. They have the ability to like go out and compete with anybody in the league, but it led to a lot of games where Locomotive looked off it, out of their depth, giving up some bad goals. I mean, particularly last year, like giving up some terrible goals. And so it's been awesome to see someone who can adapt their game to the game state like as much as Brian does. And I have the pleasure now of welcoming my co-host Christian Canales to the show. Christian, how we doing?
Doing good. What did I miss?
You have missed an absolute barn burner of a first half. Yeah, it was Petar Petrovic masterclass. So Petar with the assist for the first one. He turned Jimmy Ockford inside out, got to the byline and squared for a Lucho tap in, and then the second goal was a little bit more involved in that it was like Lions to Kostishin to Zacharias, and then Zacharias laid it across, and Petrovic had a chance from like just inside the box and just hit him with that R1 circle.
Beauty.
Yeah, so Petrovic goal and an assist. A couple of chances that went wasted, unfortunately, by Locomotive. So Kostishin created 2 chances where he put Lucho through on goal and then Ricky through on goal as well. Both weren't able to put those away, unfortunately. But
I saw the first thing that came up on my timeline when I logged in right now was Kostishin launching another missile. That, man, one of these days those are gonna go in.
That was crazy because when he lined up to shoot that, I'm like, oh, this is an easy catch, and then the keeper was like sprawling to try to keep it out. So yeah, no, it's been a good half. I will say the last 5 minutes of the half got kind of dicey. So it was good that they got to halftime without conceding, and yeah, so 2-0 on the road in Colorado Springs, and I don't know. It's one of those where it's like an early goal in the second half, like probably settles it, but at 2-0, you just never feel comfortable.
Yeah, I was like, well, what are we thinking? Do they look like they got another goal in them tonight?
I think so. I mean, I don't see why not. They've exploited Colorado Springs like high line to an extent, but as I don't know where your stream's at, they're showing me the highlights now.
Yeah,
but you'll see Petrovic kind of created.
Minute,
yeah, he created a chance that was similar to his goal just by not being closed down. But I believe this is the goal. Yeah, so just like a good win in midfield, and then Petrovic 1-on-1 just leaves him for dead, and then the Lucho tap in.
Oh my gosh, so many bugs in the air. Jesus.
Yeah. I think I literally said a swarm of locusts at one point. So.
Oh man.
Ooh, they had a couple of chances.
Oh, this must be one of the ones you were talking about. Oh no, that's the goal.
This was the goal. Oh, it's Kostishin, Lucho, Ricky, Petrovic.
Oh, here's the one I saw.
Yeah. Just lining them up from 40 yards. Like
and the keeper's getting mad like they should be like right in his face from midfield.
It's like, I didn't think he was going to shoot. 7 shots on target in the first half from 8 shots.
I think that's as many as we've had in a game this year.
That, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. No, it was they were dangerous. But yeah, there were a couple of chances for Colorado Springs, and definitely not they actually didn't show what I thought was the bigger chance for Skundrich, like from a header. They showed like the first one, but his second one I think was actually the bigger chance, as they're putting on a whole Daft Punk. I don't know what's happening here.
Send one of our players into an epileptic seizure or something.
Like, maybe we can get oh, it looks like no, Musa's still out there. It doesn't look like they made any changes. But yeah, second half's underway. I am at like 45-15 right now. I don't know.
Okay, I'm a few seconds ahead. I'll pause for like 3 seconds. I'm at 25.
Okay. 24-25.
Okay. All right.
Colorado Springs immediately sort of in, but Beckford into the arms of Diaz. Beckford was causing issues, I'll say. I don't know. Well, is this better or is this better?
I don't know.
What do we feel? This just feels like a lot of dead space. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, Beckford was kind of doing like a whole Marcus Epps thing where he was just in space out on that right hand side for Colorado Springs, which, you know, there's only so much that Borelli is going to do in terms of closing down.
Yeah,
like
it's a little bit of a mismatch there athletically.
Yeah, and Borelli played fine. It's just a matter of like, you know, how much are you going to want him to press? Like when you're defending there, like how much are you going to want him to press out and get isolated one-on-one against Beckford? Like probably not.
Yeah.
But it has led to a lot of crosses, unfortunately. So it's Colorado Springs trying to play it in. Good reading of the game there by Bensay, and
as he ventures up to the forward spot.
Yeah, the false center back. Benny playing a long ball out towards Petrovic, headed out for a locomotive throw. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's largely been fine, but obviously
just the details.
Yeah, and there's always a threat when you're playing a team like this at home. Like they can, you know, they can score. Like it's not they're not totally as giveaway here, and Switchbacks trying to get in.
Ooh.
I don't know about that one.
No, not a chance.
I thought Malik Foster went down awful easy there. And a free kick chance here for Colorado Springs. Hasn't been the controlled start in the opening couple of minutes that you'd want to necessarily see, but delivered in towards the penalty spot, punched away by Diaz.
At least it was a solid punch.
Yeah. Yuma kind of screening a little bit there. Like,
he's up.
Petrovic able to play it out, and then
what a nice pass! Ball. Ricky, what are you doing? That was right there for you.
Oh, and then he overhits the cross too. That's a brutal sequence from Ricky, because that pass was absolutely unbelievable.
And he knows
right
it.
To his feet, and he just
missed it.
He just misjudged it. Yeah, it was just oh man, what a pass. I don't even know who made that pass, actually.
I
think it might have been Eric.
Yeah, because Kostishin's on the other side.
Yeah, he's on the right side. I think it was Eric. Because Petrovic had already made a run forward, but Colorado Springs going forward now. Eder Borelli with a signature slide tackle to get a stud on that one and put it out for a throw. But Skundrich looking to deliver something here, maybe. Beckford out to play it back. Holding the feet. They're looking for something around the corner. Skundrich, ball blocked by Yuma, and
that's lazy.
Soft from Eder. Tries to commit the foul. looking for an offside here, and eventually it's Eric who cleans up, but that was yeah, not good enough. And just like not enough conviction in the pass there, like from Eder to, if he's looking for Pitar, then he's gotta really hammer it into feet. Yeah. But a corner kick for Colorado Springs. Enriquez over to take it. To the far post.
I was trying to see who went down.
Towards the center, spilled by Diaz, but eventually hooked clear by Lucho. And then sprayed out wide. It's Segrist who will run onto it. Plays it infield. Beckford's actually drifted out to that side. Shaping to shoot. Luckily, it's over. But yeah, danger so far for Locomotive. They've got a...
Yeah, 5 minutes and really none of the ball so far.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, 45 minutes is a long time to sit back and try to defend a 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
As RGV found out the hard way, apparently 2 minutes is also a long time to defend a 2-0 lead because they conceded 2 stoppage time goals to draw New Mexico United.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Couldn't believe it.
I was so happy when I saw that scoreline too.
Couldn't believe it.
That's brutal.
90 plus 1, 90 plus 2. Only RGV could do something like that.
And I mean, only New Mexico could end up winning like that, or saving a point like that too.
Benny was pressed. And a lot of energy from Colorado Springs. I don't know if this is sort of like Tulsa in that, like, how long can they keep this up sort of thing? Because they are absolutely all over Locomotive, and they force another corner here. Locomotive are going to have to see out this period of the game and just try to get out from under it. But you have to think, like, this energy level from Colorado Springs, maybe not. Off the bar. Segrist going for the follow-up, and it's behind for a corner. That was, what a hit.
Man, that was curling like nobody's business.
Traveling. And Locomotive spared by the crossbar. Oh, Benny actually saves that. Wow. Onto the crossbar. What a save. Yeah, Williams rattling the woodwork. And it was in the end behind for a corner kick, but Locomotive absolutely under it right now. Like, letting that ball bounce in the area, goes for the bicycle kick. No whistle for the... Yuma was asking for a high boot from the bicycle kick. You're never going to get that. Unfortunately, because that's just...
Okay.
Bicycle kicks are allowed, high boots. Thought Castician was shoved off the ball there. He actually did pop up on the left-hand side that time, but Williams is looking to play a ball in behind for Foster. I think Foster might have even thought he was offside there, but Bense able to win it off him, and then free kick given against Bense.
I'd be okay next time with the ball if they just held it for a second, like... Instead of trying to counter, just settle things down.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, Yuma does get full-on kicked in the head. Free kick here in a dangerous spot out on the left-hand side for Colorado Springs. Enriquez is over every one of these dead ball situations, so it's going to be an in-swinger. Gets the flick on at the near post, Locomotive, and out for a Colorado Springs throw. Yeah, coming up on 10 minutes played in the second half, and it has been all Colorado Springs. Christian, I'm about to have to ask you to log off.
Right. I wouldn't mind going back to the movies again. It's fine.
No, no, I'm joking. Always a pleasure. But and that one was a little overhit, and it's behind for a goal kick. I know Benny loves his long passes, and his distribution is second to none. But yeah, I would love to see him take this nice and short and let us just try to like put something together as he goes the length of the field. just because we can't get on the end of any second balls. Like Colorado Springs has beaten us to everything. And there'll be a throw for Locomotive, but yeah, we're just not getting on the end of literally anything right now.
Yeah.
Can't get a hold of the ball. I mean, it's almost suggesting, I don't know, like that early, I guess that was early in the second half. Zacharias probably should do better from that ridiculous pass from Eric Calvillo, but I'm thinking a Ricky hook here soon is probably the move, and get some fresh legs on with Gomez and just let the ball stick a little bit more. Like Gomez is a good outlet.
That seems to be a trend over the last couple of games too. Is
Cross here, dummied. Foster lays it off. Skundrich shot blocked by Yuma. Foster with the follow up. Beckford and deflected by Liam Rose. And then a foul given against Colorado Springs. Skundrich went through Liam Rose there.
Yeah, he got some sort of limb to the head, I'm sure.
Yeah, it looked like a hip.
If Foster can get that on the right foot the first time.
Yeah, that's a really great slide tackle from Calvillo. And then, yeah, Liam Rose is backing up, and the foul goes Locomotive's way. I mean, those are always a little dicey, especially if they happen in the area, because when it's like, what does the referee decide? Like, did they decide the guy jumping for the ball is committing the foul, or do they decide the guy like undercutting the player or whatever is committing the foul? It's a tough one.
Yeah, I think what I was saying before that sequence there was, I feel like we've seen several times that, Ricardo can have a solid first half, but in that second 45 minutes, somewhere in there, he becomes something of a liability. So,
yeah, and right now it's just that the ball's not sticking to his foot. And I think Locomotive just need a player with that ability to hold the ball up and relieve a little bit of pressure. And I mean, Gomez is like, that's like, when you talk about some of his qualities, like that is up there on the list, in terms of his physical presence and his ability to hold the ball up and relieve pressure. In addition to being obviously a threat to score goals as well. But Ederbarelli trying to push Beckford outside and does well enough to have him put the cross behind for a goal kick. This is shaping up to be a quite long half. We've played 12 minutes. It feels like we've played an hour.
Yeah.
I know halves are only 45 minutes, but yep. And the first two subs, Manuel Sanupe and Josue Aron Gomez. And it seems like legs are the
Petrovic is the other sub.
Petrovic subbed, which, fair enough. I think Pitar had a wonderful first half. He was an absolute menace. He was getting the shit kicked out of him by the end because they just couldn't cope with him like otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Ockford arguably should be on a yellow because he just, after he got embarrassed on the first goal, like he just kept kicking Petrovic every time he got the ball. And the last time he fouled him, he got like a talking to, but now we haven't had the ball long enough to draw him into another one. As Locomotive do actually win a foul.
They didn't indicate who the second sub was, but it doesn't look like it was Ricky, unless I'm seeing wrong.
Kostishin, maybe. Yeah, it was Kostishin who came off, which feels like a pace thing. Yeah, I think this is an underrated quality of Gomez's, is that he does do a lot to draw fouls.
But again, that requires him getting the ball. So
yeah. And here we are actually seeing them on the ball, and Miles Lyons draws a foul there and Echeverria drags him to his feet. I in those moments, like, I don't know, I only ever played rec Sunday league, whatever you want to call it. Like I only ever play. I didn't play at a high enough level. But if I was at this level and someone tried to pull me to my feet after being fouled, I would make the biggest scene. Like I would be that guy who refused to be pulled up.
Yeah.
Right. Like free kick in towards the center, headed away by Switchbacks.
Oh, that's bad.
It was Calvillo who got the header wrong, and then the foul came in, and yeah, it's going to be a booking for Eric. He pleads his case. To be fair, so Miles Lyons is also on a yellow card that happened in the first half. He flew into a challenge that he absolutely deserved yellow. Of all the games, like I was actually talking like on here about the fact that this ref of anybody has given me the most, like, I actually give him credit for the yellows that he's given make sense. Unlike last game where it was just like yellows are being handed out for some stuff, like almost at random, like slight tug back of the jersey, yellow card, like ankle high challenge, talking to, like, and now a free kick for Colorado Springs, which they tried to take quickly. And they were allowed to take quickly, and it'll go behind for a corner. This is, I gotta say, really, it's been bad. Like, not just has it like not been good. Like,
it's been actively bad.
This has been really bad from Locomotive. Like, and especially after how good the first half was, like, this is really rough. See, this is okay. This is what I would do. Like, I never had it up, and there's the first goal. Simple goal to concede, and like, oh, so frustrating because I mean it's from a corner kick. It's a free header at the back post.
Absolutely free.
I realized I hadn't changed the banner here. Yeah, or not even at the back post, just. He gets a run on Yuma, and no one is competing for the header. Oh, that'll have people absolutely sick.
You got to put a body in front of him.
Yeah. Now, I mean, the way that they could respond to that is by somehow turning this around and immediately scoring, just like they did in San Diego. But 2-1. This is feeling a little bit. It's feeling a little bit dicey because we have been absolutely awful since the interval, and I don't know about the Castician sub.
It's like
Zacharias on the turn. He is fouled. That should be a booking probably too. And yeah, it's Musa who gets booked. This is a good area for a free kick, but I would have liked to see Castician over it.
Yeah. It's like, because who even takes it now? Eric, I guess.
Probably. He's taken some quality ones for us in the past, even if he hasn't, I guess, found the back of the net. Is it him and Liam standing over? That's just funny to me. Like the idea of Liam just gets in there and like puts a top bins. Like, who is this man? Like, yeah, I just think like there's so many different ways to use Dennis Castician that like he does feel like not the guy that you yank when you're like looking for more control, because he can like give you control, but you know, at the same time, like Eric with the shot here, palmed away by Herrera. That would have been. We would have seen another goal of the week winner from Locomotive.
Yeah, 2 in a row. That's wild.
That is actually pretty crazy. Like, I mean, there was a time back in the day where you wouldn't even see us on that list, let alone
twice in a season. Yeah, let alone winning.
Yeah, you wouldn't see us on the list twice in a season, let alone winning 2 weeks in a row. Corner kick here for Locomotive off of that really, really nice free kick from Eric. Goes in towards the near post and headed away. Rose able to collect it. And Gomez flicks it out wide. Calvillo stayed out there from the corner. I went to the byline for Gomez, but I really am not feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
I wasn't comfortable at 2-0 like fully, but I'm really, really not comfortable at 2-1.
Yeah, Romario Williams on for Colorado and Chapman as well.
Good call.
Who came out is the question.
Yeah, I didn't see who.
Segrist.
Oh, okay.
Is one of them. I don't know who
they're in here and drags the shot wide.
Williams.
Yep, just straight into the action. Just far too much space. Pavkovitz gets caught up field. Yuma able to put a little bit on it, but that is just strictly he put his foot through it and dragged it wide. But this is making it for nervy viewing in the last 25 minutes of this one. Played 65 and a half as Gomez trying to latch onto this one. And this is the sort of area where you want to see him. I thought maybe the throw would go our way, but Colorado Springs back into possession, and Locomotive just haven't been able to get the ball down and really play in the second half yet, and we've played 20 minutes of it. Colorado Springs equalizer coming from a set piece, but it's a good win from Liam Rose, and maybe a chance to break here for Locomotive. Zacharias getting caught on the ball, but Sanupe collects.
Oh, it's a rough touch, Eder.
And now Eder getting in the face of Enriquez.
I mean, that was a terrible touch.
Yeah, it was.
It looks like Echeverria was the other sub. It came off for Jay Chapman.
Oh, they've said that stayed in somehow. Gomez trying to latch onto. Oh, I thought he might. thought he might latch onto that bad back pass, but Colorado Springs breaking down the left.
Oh, would have liked to see him attack the ball there.
Yeah, Lions maybe thinking that he is on a yellow, so he maybe eased out of that one, but Benny able to catch, so all good.
I'd like to see him go to ground here. Just
the Jordan Pickford, just going to ground with half an hour to go. Great ball out to Gomez, and there's that stickiness and earning the foul. It's what we said. Eric said it in chat. We've got just that a bit. He's got that ability to make the ball stick and then win a foul, which where we're at right now, like any advancement up the field and any time taking off the clock is just he does catch a full knee directly to the coccyx. Oh, is it? We're in. Lions trying to square for Lucho and behind for a corner. That was all of a sudden like they cut back from the replay and we were in on goal all of a sudden. Lions, I will say Miles Lyons, he's been fine. Like everything, I'm not being overly critical of the kid, but he I would say the one thing that as the mascot is signing autographs during the game. Is that a thing that's happening?
I'm more concerned that that's what's on the camera.
Yeah, I don't understand this generation. Cross comes in from the corner. Lions heading it back in towards Eder, who had stayed forward. Lions looks like the favorite to win this one, who played it towards Yuma, but lets it roll for Diaz, and Benny launches it long. Musa lets it bounce, and he'll let it bounce out for a throw. Yeah, we were talking in the first half how it seems like Miles and Liam have been the guy who have kind of been the free man on corners that are cleared out, and it almost feels like an opportunity to have like your hitters out there. As
Yeah.
good win from Zacharias, who is certainly fouled on the edge of the box, and that's got to be a booking.
That's got to be a card, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a booking.
Oh, are you sure? No, it's. Oh, yeah.
No, they were showing Musa, but he was not the one.
Yeah. I was like, because if it is,
that would have been hilarious. But this is a good opportunity from Eric right on the edge of the area. But yeah, I don't think Enriquez can have any complaints.
Oh no.
Yeah, he just sticks a boot on his Achilles. So
who are these people? They keep cutting to those exact people. Am I supposed to know who they are?
They're the owner's friends.
Wow, what a spot here.
Yeah, I really like this. And it's close, but I like the angle.
Yeah,
I guess if that makes sense.
Here. Yeah.
Because you can kind of go either way. I like Eric right-footed bending it towards that almost the near post rather than any left-footed towards the far post. I feel like is easier for Herrera to deal with. Oh, they're trying to lay it off here, maybe for Gomez. I don't know. It feels like they're trying to work something here. No, Calvillo will take it direct. It's deflected just wide, but it should be a corner, and it is. The wall just getting a piece of that one. And yeah, Eric Calvillo going close a couple of times from free kicks. It was on target. It was on target, but it does strike the wall and behind for a corner. Locomotive taking their time, obviously, taking any of these set pieces. You just think a goal from a set piece right now would just be an absolute gift. We've given them one, so let's take one in return.
Yeah.
They actually take it away from goal, short. And Sinupe is showing for the ball.
Yeah,
trying to get around the edge,
nope.
But took a heavy touch and goes behind for a goal kick. I hate short corners. I'll just say that out loud. In USL, there's absolutely no reason that you shouldn't be putting it in the box.
It's any defense can be had at any given time.
Exactly. Any person can, accidentally run into their own goalkeeper at any point and just create a free opportunity.
Hey, those were good rocket attempts, though.
I know. I just pray. There's an alternate universe where
Mishak has 5 goals from set pieces.
Yeah, and they're all just insane rockets. As Lucho will get on the ball for maybe the first time in the second half, out there wide on the right, exactly where you love to see Lucho. But Locomotive finally getting on the ball a little bit, and maybe just a suggestion that
we play it forward.
Yeah, well, and that Colorado Springs are perhaps tiring a little bit.
That's a move.
Going infield, Lions for Calvillo. Calvillo out for Manny. Manny to shape to shoot, deflected away. It looks like Calvillo will be able to collect this one, and he's got Lucho out there with him and Ricardo as well, which he finds Ricky.
That's Gomez.
Lucho is nowhere near there.
Now
and there's
Calvillo.
Gomez. There's Gomez, yeah. Gomez looked like he was going to shoot. Finds Eder. Crosses blocked.
Getting in front of everything.
Yeah. Eder tried to head it back into the area, which was ill-advised, but Eder back onto the ball. Manny spinning in the area. Manny! And it's in! It's in! Emmanuel Sinupe! Let's fucking go!
What a touch he took there.
Unbelievable turn in the box, and look at what it means to the team and Emmanuel Sinupe. Oh, they're just over the moon for him. And
I'm not even sure how it went in.
It looks like
levitating.
It looks like Herrera got a touch on it. Oh, it deflects off Musa. It's an instep from Musa that it deflects off of.
Oh,
and
okay.
just
I was like, because
hops
it was
up
just
off her.
floating there.
But it is going to be Manny's goal. That was it was on target before the deflection. So that is all Manny. And look at the celebration. Manny, who's been, struggled for minutes, struggled for form, struggled with injury last season, gets the goal. 3-1. Locomotive restore the 2-goal lead. And man, on so many levels, that is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Lucho was down. I mean, he's up now, but it was weird because I didn't see him run into anyone or anything. So hopefully nothing to worry about there.
Colorado Springs straight back on the attack. But yeah, I love the Manny love in the chat as well. We are big Emmanuel Sinupe fans at Seriously Loco. I do love the shade, even in praise. There's shade as Locomotive breaking again, and you have to think like Colorado Springs put a lot into that opening half hour of the second half, and they are just, and that's going to be a yellow card for Williams. If he's not careful, he might actually talk himself into a red. He did it, really cynical.
I was like, do you have to like acknowledge when the ref is giving you a card? Like, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I mean, we've seen it before.
Oh my god, who is this fucking Jolly Green Giant? Sorry.
No, I think we've seen it before. Who was I feel like it happened in the Premier League where a player basically got a second booking for like, or it seemed like he was walking away. I don't think we're going to get the credit of a replay from the Colorado Springs broadcast production team. Oh, yep. It totally is. Yeah.
Here's the replay. Oh, just stomps right on him, it looks like.
Yeah. He kind of kicks him twice. Like he kicks for the ball and then just kicks his legs. Yeah. It's bad. I mean, we'll say that. It's probably not a red, to be fair, but
this isn't the guy who played for New Mexico, right? That like years ago, like kicked someone in the back.
No. Who was that? That was oh, what was that guy's name? No, it wasn't Romario Williams, I don't think. Romario Williams, wait, did he play for Colorado Springs last year? Because I feel like
he was at San Antonio.
He was wasn't he at New Mexico? Long ball only finds Herrera in net for Colorado Springs, and they're I don't know. We'll have to get the interns on that one.
I'm on it. No, yeah, Romario Williams was. Yeah, he was with United last year.
So I thought.
The guy I was thinking of was Romeo Parks, who was
Romeo
also
Parks,
with United
yeah.
last year, I think.
Good win of the ball there for Locomotive, finding Sinupe, the goal scorer. You got to think that does wonders for Manny's confidence. I still think he has a big part to play in the season. Regardless of the fact that obviously Petrovic has had a, he's come on leaps and bounds, and he is a high quality player, and he is going to be tough to.
What a tackle!
Yeah, Eder, as always, just strong when he slides in, and a loose touch there in midfield from Colorado Springs, but Ricky is just like doing the most. He just needs to like simplify everything he's doing. He wants too many touches in midfield. He wants like
it's like, and he looks exhausted. Did you see that face?
Yeah. I almost wouldn't mind, like, because we've got Sanupe. Zach Cross comes in for Colorado Springs behind for a goal kick. Since we brought on Gomez and Sanupe, like, I was gonna say like, you could bring on Chapa for Zacharias and probably be okay, like, shape wise, and just add an extra body in midfield. But yeah,
Here's what I'm
I
hoping.
am really shocked that Kostishin comes off instead of Zacharias there. That's a, don't get me wrong, like, I am absolutely coming around on, like, the Brian train, but like, this is that substitution is leaving me a little perplexed.
If this score holds, in another 6 or 7 minutes, I didn't know where that ball was for a second.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement with Eric there in the chat. I'd like to see Lalito Moreno get his first minutes here. Oof.
That actually comes off the post. Like,
Yeah.
Benny was looking a little too comfortable on that one, but yeah, I would love to see Lalito come on. It's always nice, it's nice to see him included in the squad because he hasn't always been involved. And it would be nice to see him get some meaningful minutes here, even if it's just, final 10, final 5, something like that. But absolutely over the moon for Manny. That is, like, I'm loving that. As Eder kind of misjudges this one, Foster cuts in field, and I don't know who that is, but the Jolly Green Giant, as he said.
Aaron Wheeler is the last name. I don't know if Aaron.
That's who Eric was talking about. Yeah. That is the fucker who scored the goal for the draw. I hate that dude, like, with a passion.
He's old as fuck too. He's 34 years old. What the hell?
What? You cannot be white wearing braids like that at 34 years old. You're 36. Like, that's like, it's White Drake.
White Drake.
Colorado Springs getting away with the ball there. I don't know. Like, doesn't it feel like the move is just move Gomez central and bring on a midfielder?
Yeah, which we've seen him do, and just drop someone back a little bit.
Yeah. Colorado Springs getting possession here. Oh no, Ricky just looks, he not wasted in the sense that, like, he shouldn't be out there, but, like, he looks wasted. Like, he looks drunk as hell. Good win in midfield. Liam Rose looking for the run from Sanupe.
Oh,
Manny taking the more responsible touches rather than taking it towards goal. He takes it outside, but
be selfish. You don't even know when you're going to see the field again. Just be selfish.
Live every minute like it's your last. As Miles Lyons onto this one in a decent position. He's got Ricky in support. Good ball infield for Eric. Locomotive holding onto the ball, which I am, despite the fact that I would love them to see them push, I am glad that we're just getting on the end.
Big run by Lucho there.
Oh, that was such a good run and a good spot by Lyons. Maybe not at the first moment that he should have played that ball in, but Sanupe able to collect. It was like there was a split second where he should have played it. Absolutely. Nice little footwork there from Eder as well. And Locomotive finally putting together some passes here. And basically for the first time in the second half, like
we just doubled our passing total this half.
Yeah. Oh, and this deflection carries straight to appealing for Williams. Like, does need to be careful. He's on a yellow. Like,
Yeah, he just
oh
straight
well,
up.
so is Eric, but Eric didn't actually do anything. Yeah, 80, 99. Feels like Serie A out there. It's giving Inter Milan, but like budget Inter. Well, I guess the light blue would suggest Napoli, but Napoli are champions, so can't
be
connect
Colorado.
them. Yeah, no, it can't be them. Well, 3-1, coming up on 5 minutes to play. I mean, Christian, obviously the half that you've seen is very different from the first half I saw, but
It's like, Phil, you told me this was a barn burner.
yeah, our barn is on fire, man.
Yeah.
We got to get the hell out of here. No, I will say, like, given what we've seen in the second half, you got to say, like, coming away with a win in this one is going to be another really, really good result if they're able to hold on to it. What's Foster doing?
Like, in the interest
it's
of
a
your
big
own
brain.
like, you're trying to like not waste time, and so you actively like move the ball.
Wow, I've never seen that. Big brain plays. 5,000 IQ. I like that from Liam Rose flying into a challenge with Williams because, I mean, essentially the goal here in the last 5 minutes is he's obviously able to be like, you can get under his skin. So try to get him pissed off enough to do something.
Oh, yeah, that's bad by Liam.
Liam should probably get booked for that. Oh, he pointed to the spot for that. Jeez, penalty to Colorado Springs with 4 minutes to go.
No, I mean, that's a foul.
I don't know. In real time I thought it was soft, but
I mean, he goes straight into the back of him.
I don't know. It's just like he initiates a contact. I don't know. I'm not buying that.
I just think it's poor by Yuma. There's not a need for it.
There's no need for it. Yeah. I do love the idea though of let's just make sure that I think it's soft. I'll say that. But I recognize that I'm biased as well. So, well, it's going to be Williams from the spot. Benny Diaz.
Is this the first penalty we faced this year?
Yeah, I don't think we've given up a penalty this year that I can remember. Benny Diaz versus Williams. Williams sends Diaz the wrong way, and with 2.5 minutes left to play in regulation, Colorado Springs back into this one. It's 3-2.
I'm getting flashback.
I know. We've seen this story before, and we're hoping that it doesn't play out that way, but Colorado Springs back into it. I don't know. For me, this is so soft. Like, he's looking for that 1,000,000%. But yeah, Diaz sent the wrong way. And Colorado Springs back within a goal here late. And unfortunately, Locomotive having to sweat another close result out on the road. Lucho looking for Manny. Manny might have a blazes it across the face of goal. Lucho wasn't able to get on the end of it. Colorado Springs, obviously they're going to throw the kitchen sink here. And they've got that big motherfucker on the field, so.
Brian's got to make another sub here. I want to see him make like 2 different subs. Like,
yeah, just use all the time you can.
Yeah. And just get another like defensive body in there too. Bring on Eric.
Yeah. Free kick here for Colorado Springs. They're just going to lump it forward. Eder gets in Aaron Wheeler's face. Spicy Eder.
There's Eric. There we go.
Yeah. You gotta love that the center referee is demanding Benny Diaz to take the goal kick while a sub is being made.
Is waiting.
While he's allowed a sub to be made. Like and Eric McHugh is in. Swear to God, this guy is literally someone just put Andrew Fox in a time machine and sent him back like 10 years. And there are times where he runs over to like where you just see like just a split second. And I don't know, it's something about the babyface big white guy that Andrew Fox just gives Andrew Fox vibes.
And did Foxy wear number 4?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, Manny tried his best to evade the pressure there, but was surrounded by 4 Colorado Springs bodies, and Gomez uses his body so well to evade pressure. And then Liam Rose fouled 4 added minutes. We've played 1 of the 4. This ref seems intent on like not allowing time wasting, but I'm not like there's nothing in this really. I don't know. It's just very strange that he points to his watch anytime anyone isn't actively kicking the ball.
Yeah.
Like the foul, you just called a foul. Like we have to restart play. That's how it works. Lucho running the channels again, like it's Orange County. Throw for Locomotive. We've played 1.5 minutes. I'm convinced that for whatever reason, this referee is going to let us play to like 96.
Oh, God.
So I'm not even holding my breath at that 94, even though we've never gotten 1 single additional second of stoppage time beyond what's been promised. And Colorado Springs on the attack here.
Just clear it.
Yeah. Ball just lumped into the stands, into Rosette, as they would say. Both teams seem absolutely shattered, which I guess I get because they're playing on top of a mountain or whatever. So, ball coming in at the back post, and Eric McHugh doing just enough. Strike comes in and out for a goal kick. Ockford convinced that there was a deflection, but center referee not having any of it.
He's like, chill, bro. I'm giving you 3 extra minutes.
Yeah, you've got time, man. Oh, that was absolutely terrifying. Wheeler, that felt like Tulsa right there. Like that moment of Wheeler's diving header at the back post, just really, it was giving Tulsa tap in, and McHugh getting creative with the back heel clearance, but does enough to see it off. I actually don't think there's a deflection on that at all. Like, I think Ockford totally mishits that. Like, seeing it from the reverse angle now, I'm like, I think he did actually just shank that thing. Still 1 minute left in stoppage time. Foster. Well done from Locomotive to combine to really see off that cross.
But
Gomez,
like, he needs help
taking
there.
a little too much time, but yeah, he does need help. I think Claerhaut's losing his mind down there because, and the foul's given Locomotive's way. That was, I think that was a smart play by Eric because I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything in that. I think he literally runs over the legs of Wheeler. But
oh, he blew the whistle right at 94.
Oh, he blew the whistle at 94. Wow. I am shocked. If I was a Colorado Springs fan, I'd be pissed because he's literally been talking about stoppage time this whole time. That is a wonderful, wonderful win, all things considered, from El Paso Locomotive. Emmanuel Sinupe's goal proving decisive. And another win that makes, gosh, what is that? I don't know. Calvillo's continuing the conversation. We did win. Just get the hell out of there, man.
Yeah.
The critical moment of the match is a goal scored by a Colorado Springs player, which ended up being the losing team. I would argue it is not critical. But no, so Emmanuel Sinupe's goal proving decisive in the end after Colorado Springs fought back a couple of times there. Late goal from Williams made it a little bit dicey, but yeah, Locomotive see out the win.
Little tidbit here. This is only Locomotive's second win ever at Widener. Is it still Widener Field? Or
was Widener is the new one. Yeah.
Yeah. In Colorado Springs since exactly 4 years ago today, May 5th, 2019.
Wow. That is actually crazy.
That was
like we've had a good record against them, but
yeah, just not a lot of wins. We haven't lost, but not a lot of wins. And on that day, Jerome Kiesewetter had a brace for a 2-0 win.
Wow. What a time. What a time to be alive. The orthodontist at work. Yeah. No, this was they're getting the sad fireworks tonight. We've inflicted it on someone else, like after a whole season of sad fireworks. Oh, Jake, you made the same point. I didn't even see what you said until after. I was laughing at the critical moment of the match. But yeah, 3 more points on the board. Locomotive up to second in the table for the time being. It is as well Locomotive's 4th win in a row. And still they continue that league unbeaten streak since Louisville. So unbeaten in 6. They've won 4 straight. I mean, Christian, things are looking good for Locomotive right now.
Yeah, it's what a turnaround, you know. I'm at a loss, you know. It's just been so much better than what we thought it was going to be after that kind of rough start to the season.
Yeah. These results too. I mean, wins away at Louisville, San Diego, a win over Pittsburgh, like exercising some of the demons of the early, obviously those first 3 games at the swap, like 3 losses in a row. We've got a couple of wins now at home, got wins at some big teams away, win at a rival, a place we played a lot, like you said, without winning, getting away with the 3 points, even if it wasn't maybe necessarily the best performance for the full 90, even if it was probably one of the best first halves we've ever played and one of the worst second halves we've played. But yeah, getting away with the 3 points, it feels like this year, or at least maybe in this stretch, maybe it's a little early to say this year. But it feels like during this stretch, Locomotive are getting results that in the past we just simply did not get.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree. They've been so resilient. I think would be the best way to describe it. Just so resilient and not being okay with anything less than positive results.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I don't think there's any as we watch the highlights back, I mean, there is an alternate universe in which Locomotive actually lose this game like comfortably, because there were some high quality chances for Colorado Springs in the second half. But the key is, as it was in San Diego, the key was when Locomotive were facing some real trouble, they find that big moment from Emmanuel Sanupe. You know, not like, he hasn't started. He hasn't been getting a ton of minutes. He's been, mostly playing a bit part in the team. And yet, like, his contribution ends up being vital. And it feels like that sort of thing is making the difference for this Locomotive team, in that when they're down, when they're maybe not playing at their best, they're finding those moments from these guys. And I mean, in this case, Manny's goal proving to be all the difference, as it claims Locomotive 3 points.
Yeah, and next up is a trip back home. They've got Loudon, who probably one of the surprises of the season this year.
Yeah.
So what has in the past maybe been not that we've played them a bunch of times, but in the past has maybe been kind of a write-off match for a lot of teams.
Sure.
Is definitely one to be taken seriously.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the Loudon are one of those teams where maybe their wins overshadow some of the, like, quality, I guess. Love this shout from Eric. Loudon and the return of Locomotive legend Cole Turner. Yeah, it is. The real ones will remember. The real ones will remember Cole. I think Christian's got some technical difficulties, unfortunately, but yeah, no, Loudon are a serious team. They've done well. I think I do love. I don't know if you saw in the chat, Christian,
Cole
that
Turner.
Cole Turner, Locomotive legend. Just like when we played Detroit and Matt Lewis. No, except Cole Turner is more of a Locomotive legend than Matt Lewis.
He did get some minutes.
He got significant minutes for us. But I mean, in terms of going ahead to that Loudon match, like, it is a good chance to continue momentum, good chance at home. It is, I would say, the one thing going against Loudon is it is tough to make that cross country road trip. And I think a lot of teams, like, do suffer in that they, maybe don't cope as well with the heat, the altitude, like, you name it. There's a lot of factors maybe working in Locomotive's favor, but like you said, a game that still has to be taken super seriously, because Loudon have been no slouches and they've gotten some decent results on the road.
Yeah, and have just one extra day to prepare because of the Friday match. So hopefully they come and keep the streak going.
Loudon defense can take the night off tomorrow. They have Indy. It is all right, Christian, as we wind things up, time to, the admins are asleep. Drop the hot takes. Like, Indy struggles. Do we enjoy Indy struggles, or do we, like, sympathize with Indy struggles?
Oh, it just depends on the day, doesn't it? Like, I don't know. You have to question the circumstances behind Mark leaving. While he was here, great guy. Friendly to the pod, all that kind of stuff.
For sure.
So like, I have love for him, but also, like, that was your choice to bail, and you make your bed and you make your bed and you lie in it. So
yeah, I think, like, and I think it's one of those things where you can acknowledge the fact, like, it's nothing personal against Mark or anything like that. And it is like, I mean, this maybe like, yeah. I mean, I think we all talked about the fact that like it felt like he was on the right track, whatever, train pun. Felt like he was moving in the right direction. If he wins a title with Locomotive, like, how does that change, the perception? And so Jake earlier made the comparison that Brian is the American Deserby, which is, we've got time before we make those bold claims. But I talked specifically about like the tactical adjustments that he makes being Deserby-esque. I don't know if we're able to say he is the Deserby of the U.S. Quite yet, but I do love that Jake is coming in with the just the one-to-one comparisons of Lowry. Lowry did great at Locomotive, but what you're suggesting here is that Indy is Chelsea, and we've been told that Locomotive is not Chelsea. We know that. We know that much.
Indy might be Chelsea, though. I mean,
Indy might be Chelsea.
Think about the signings. Like, it all tracks.
Oh no, Indy is Chelsea. Lowry is Graham Potter. He's just underachieving with boatloads of signings. Solomon Asante. He signed, I mean, I think we can all acknowledge too that he basically went out and signed every player that he wished he could have signed at Locomotive. And unfortunately, it's like 2 years too late.
Yeah, everyone is like 2 years past their prime now.
Yeah. Like Genzati, Asante,
Jack Blake,
like all these guys are like just a little beyond like where you would want Douglas Martinez. I mean, like all these guys. And it really is like, it's really funny that it is like, it is a few guys that have either played with Lowry before, which we know he does enjoy, like keeping a core of the team or whatever, or guys who have hurt Lowry, like when he was at Locomotive, that are now playing for him, like Asante and Martinez. I mean, that is a hate that will never fade.
Yeah.
Him and Ochoa, who didn't you sent across Christian
he's without a team. He got booted off a Liga MX team for misconduct. Like, how does that happen?
I'm old enough to remember when U.S. men's national team fans were saying this is what the men's national team needs. They need this. They need that edge. They need a shit house, like all this stuff. He literally can't. He had to train by himself in Salt Lake because he was trying to force a move. He had to train by himself at San Luis, right?
Because he was a shithead.
Because of misconduct. Kid's a problem.
Yeah.
We said it, and no one acknowledged it, and that's fine.
Yeah. Oh man.
Maybe he can find a spot in MLS Next Pro.
No, you
Eric,
keep him away from
joke,
Diego.
Though. I was gonna say this is a tough joke because Diego Luna just scored for Real Monarchs in Next Pro, and that hurts. Well, guys, I think that does about do it for us. We're winding up. As soon as we're just like in our Diego Luna feels, that's the time to disconnect. I enjoyed it. It seemed like we had a pretty good turnout for what was a late announce, and I apologize, a late announce Watchalong. So thanks everyone for hanging out, enjoying a good Locomotive win on the road in Colorado Springs. Fun performance, at least in the first half, and then a just sweat and anxiety inducing second half. If you haven't found the podcast or seen us before or anything like that, you can find the podcast which comes out pretty much every week or after every game on any podcast platform of your choice. Just search Seriously Loco and we'll pop up. And then, yeah, as you found us, we have these watch alongs for away games on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So yeah, check us out. Give us a follow, like, subscribe, whatever the platform allows. And yeah, we'll be talking to you guys more. Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram. That's where we interact the most. And I guess we will be back with an episode this week, recapping this game. And then we will be, yeah, since there's a home game, no watch along for the next one. But yeah, hopefully everyone will be down at the swap. And until then, stay loco.